In recent days, the online commentary surrounding the British royal family has crossed a line that can no longer be ignored. What we are seeing isn't just reasonable criticism or public debate, it has devolved into outright misinformation, hostility, and a level of cruelty that is frankly disturbing. Much of this narrative is built on half-truths, misunderstood data, and a deliberate attempt to distort reality. This isn't about silencing anyone's opinion, but it is about correcting a narrative that is fundamentally false and calling out the double standards that have become a new, toxic norm in our digital space. Let's start with this obsession over digital numbers. We often see critics pointing to magazine engagement figures or social media likes as proof of a loss of relevance for the Prince and Princess of Wales. But here's the reality. Engagement figures are driven by algorithms, timing, and platform reach. They are not a definitive barometer of public respect. Meanwhile, posts from William and Catherine reach hundreds of thousands of people organically. The idea that they are being outshined simply doesn't stand up to the facts on the ground. Public interest speaks for itself, and it has always been the official accounts and real-world impact that actually matter. This isn't a competition, it's about tangible influence. For years, the clothing worn by the Princess of Wales and her children consistently sells out faster and on a larger scale than almost anything else. That isn't an opinion or nitpicking, it is an observable economic fact. If certain supporters weren't so determined to inflate their own narratives while tearing others down, this wouldn't even need to be said. What has become truly unacceptable, however, is the treatment of the Princess of Wales regarding her health. The accusations that she faked her illness or was photoshopped into family photographs are not just factually wrong, they are vile. The images in question were taken during a professional family session in Norfolk. Anyone with even a basic knowledge of photography understands that multiple images, poses, and compositions are captured in a single sitting. To suggest otherwise reveals either a total ignorance of the craft or a deliberate attempt to act in bad faith. The hypocrisy here is glaring. If anyone were to point out visual inconsistencies in photos released by other members of the family, the response would be immediate outrage and accusations of bullying. Yet when it comes to the Wales family, mockery and conspiracy theories are treated as acceptable commentary. This double standard tells us everything we need to know about the current media climate. We see the same bad faith criticism aimed at the king for addressing the cost of living crisis. Critics act as if he personally authored every word, ignoring the fact that such speeches are written by the government and approved long in advance. While the critics shout online, the working royals are actually on the ground, donating to food banks, supporting the homeless, and maintaining decades-long commitments to the armed forces. Quiet service doesn't always trend on Twitter, but it matters to the people receiving the help. Just last week, we saw Prince William taking Prince George to a homeless shelter to help with Christmas dinner. There was no fanfare, no massive media rollout, just a father teaching his son about volunteering and service. This consistency doesn't appear overnight. It's a lifestyle that has been part of their lives for generations. For those asking why there is so much criticism of Harry and Meghan in contrast, context is vital. Many people were once genuine supporters of the Sussexes. The shift in public perception didn't happen because they left royal life. Had they stepped away and built quiet, charitable lives, they would still have widespread goodwill. The trust eroded because of what followed: repeated public attacks on the family, sweeping accusations without evidence, and the monetization of private family matters through books and media deals. Titles were retained while being used to undermine the very institution that granted them. When one side quietly serves the community and the other fuels division while offering little comparable philanthropic substance, the contrast becomes unavoidable. Finally, we must address the most disturbing aspect of this entire situation: the willful ignorance surrounding serious illness.
Princess Catherine did not lie. Cancer treatment is not a uniform experience. Different diagnoses, different treatments, and different side effects mean that some people may appear visibly well while others do not. Remission is not a magic button that makes everything better. It's a long, difficult process that requires monitoring and time. Questioning someone's medical diagnosis is not commentary, it is cruel and medically illiterate. We need to start being kinder and more understanding. At the end of the day, much of what is being said online says far more about the person speaking than it ever will about the people they are attacking. Let's hope for a full recovery for His Majesty and the Princess, and let's choose facts over noise.